Well, it's like my father used to say, it doesn't matter how the rest of the flight goes as long as you stick the landing, and that's good advice from my dad who was fired from Ryanair for reasons I don't think are important right now. Very often, a wrestling pay-per-view lives and dies based on the quality of its ending, as the watermark appears and the commentators honk like puffins at the shocking developments. Not only is it the best possible sell for the next episode of TV, but it wraps up everything you've seen in a nice emotional bow. Sometimes WWE end their pay-per-views in grand style, with confetti raining from the ceiling and having the wrestlers, fans, and Michael Coles all in floods of tears, and sometimes WWE ends its pay-per-views by having the Big Show come out, punch both competitors in the main event, and then wander away and that'll be $50, please. Some of the endings on this list are memorably good, some are memorably bad, but all of them have stuck with us. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and here are the top 10 most shocking WWE pay-per-view endings ever. Join us. Number 10, WrestleMania 9. Everyone likes getting a little extra something for free, don't they? A little treat from WWE to celebrate you being such a good boy or girl this year. At WrestleMania 9, so generous was Vincent McMahon that the fans got 2 main events for the price of 1, you lucky devils. The advertised main event of WrestleMania 9 was Bret the Hitman Hart defending his WWF Championship against the winner of the Royal Rumble, Yokozuna, who we should never forget was a big Samoan man that they just told us was Japanese. For weeks, Yokozuna was presented as an unstoppable monster, and that Bret Hart, who was slowly being positioned as the face of the new steroid-free WWF, would have to call upon every ounce of wrestling acumen he had to topple the foreign menace. Surely he would though, thought the fans. It's WrestleMania, everyone loves a happy ending. Behave. In fact, Bret lost thanks to a handful of salt to the eyes. Oh no, thought the fans. But then Hulk Hogan, who had recently returned to the WWF after the steroid scandal saw his public image tarnished, came to the rescue. He told Bret, "Don't worry mate, this won't go unpunished." Then is offered a WWF title match, won in 30 seconds, and now Hulk Hogan was the WWF champion, before Bret Hart had even got his boots off backstage. Politics. Number 9, Bad Blood 1997. Nothing crafts a memorable show closer and a perfect hook for fans to tune into Raw the next night like the debut of a hot new star. And I use the word hot in every sense. Get it? Because he was horribly disfigured in a fire. Lol. Bad Blood 1997 in fact saw 2 great debuts. The first was the Devil's Playground, the Satanic Structure, the Box of Nox, the Cage of Rage, Vincent Max Bleeding Shack, the Hell in a Cell. The match, which pitted Shawn Michaels against The Undertaker, was hugely well received, garnering 5 stars from Dave Meltzer, and much of why it's so memorable was the fellow debut of the big red monster, Kane. Yes, the man who'd formerly played Isaac Yankem, Fate Diesel, and the Christmas Creature finally got it right, slowly walking down to the ring in a terrifying mask as Vince McMahon nearly gave himself an embolism, screaming, "That's gotta be Kane!" The demon ripped the cell door off its hinges, entered the cage, and delivered a tombstone to The Undertaker, allowing a battered Shawn Michaels to sneak a victory. It ranks as one of the greatest debuts ever and a perfect way to close out a pay-per-view. Shocking, memorable, iconic. Number 8, Survivor Series 2000. And what's more iconic than murder? I honestly can't tell you whether or not the ending of Survivor Series 2000 is really good or really bad. It's like a Schrodinger's pay-per-view. It exists as both great and awful at the same time until you rewatch it. And every time you do, you'll appreciate or hate something entirely new. So right, here we go. At Survivor Series 1999, Steve Austin, you might have heard of him, was set to fight for the WWF title in a triple threat match against The Rock and Triple H, when he was removed from the match at the last minute because he got run over with a car by a mysterious assailant. Cool. A year later, after Austin returned, that man was revealed to be Rikishi, the man with the bottom. However, Rikishi was actually working for Triple H. So at Survivor Series 2000, a year later, Austin and H fought to the parking lot, and the gang jumped into a car so as to try to murder Steve Austin on national television. Nothing could go wrong there. Then, appearing from out of nowhere years before Randy Orton was doing it, Steve Austin drove a forklift into the car, lifted it up until it was 30 feet off the ground, before letting the car with Triple H inside smash on the concrete below. Boom, end of show. I have some questions. Question 1, how can you sneak up on someone with a giant pissing forklift? Question 2, why didn't Triple H just get out of the other side of the car, literally at any point? And question 3, murder? Number 7, The Great American Bash 2004. Hey cool, also murder. Now for this one it's quite easy to work out whether or not it's good or bad. It's very, very bad. Paul Heyman was running SmackDown back in day, and he wanted to be able to control The Undertaker, who'd recently returned in his I'm a Scary Wizard form. Paul Heyman, for reasons, believed that the best way to convince a supernatural druid to punch in and punch out on time was to kidnap his mentor and the father to his brother, Paul Bearer. Are you with me so far? The main event of the Great American Bash 2004 was a 2-on-1 handicap match, The Undertaker versus the Dudley Boys, and if Taker didn't throw the match, Paul Bearer, who was sealed at a glass box at the entranceway, would be murdered by that box being filled with cement. Are you still watching this video? Why are you still watching this video? So Undertaker won that match, and then because I guess he didn't want Bearer to be used as leverage over him again, The Undertaker pulled the lever and drowned Paul Bearer in cement, which, as far as everyone who watched at home knew, killed him. Watching a man be actually drowned on live TV upset a number of viewers, and WWE hastily addressed the issue on SmackDown saying, Paul Bearer was just really hurt, but don't worry, he's still alive. Please come back. Where are you going? Number 6, WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins with the heist of the century. That's one of the few really good Michael Cole commentary calls. Say what you want about his over-scripted calls, he did a good job that night. Well done, Michael Cole. WrestleMania 31 was brilliant, and everybody thought it was going to be crap. A big reason for that was the main event. Roman Reigns had just finished bringing about #cancel WWE Network at the Royal Rumble, and then defeating beloved hero Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. So he was super duper popular going into Mania. Brock Lesnar's contract was coming to an end at the show of shows, so the grim inevitability of Reigns becoming champion made a lot of people very angry. Full credit to WWE, when the chips are down, they have an unbelievable ability to put themselves out of even the stupidest corner. First of all, the match itself was awesome. The wrestlers and the agents who put it together don't get nearly enough credit for that, but then the ending. As both men laid battered and exhausted in the ring, Seth Rollins' music hit and Mr. Money in the Bank sprinted to the ring, briefcase in hand. The match was turned into a triple threat. Rollins pinned Roman and scampered away with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which solved literally all of the problems. Reigns didn't leave champion, Brock didn't get pinned, and the fans got 100% played. A masterclass in Eureka booking. Number 5, New Year's Revolution 2006. And hey, while we're talking about Money in the Bank, that briefcase has given WWE fans a lot of wonderful memories over the years. Dolph Ziggler cashing in after Mania, Angry Miz Girl, but you never forget your first. At New Year's Revolution, Edge performed the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in, and it came at the perfect time, giving rise to his nickname, the Ultimate Opportunist. John Cena, whom the fans had started to become really annoyed by, had just finished retaining his belt in an Elimination Chamber match when Big Vince came out to announce one more match: Edge versus John Cena for the WWE title. 2 spears later, Edge was champion and everyone was losing their nut. So began the great Money in the Bank legacy. Number 4, Money in the Bank 2011. You hoped, you dreamed, you prayed, but you never really thought that CM Punk was going to walk out of the company with the WWE Championship, did you? Despite the angle being white hot and Punk immediately elevating himself to the most talked about wrestler of the day, no one really dared to think that he would actually pull it off. Over the last 5 years, the fans had seen Punk rise, only to have his feet pulled from under him time and time again. He lost his first World Championship off-screen, the second involved him being comically squashed by The Undertaker, the Straight Edge Society flamed out, as did his run with the Nexus. Punk would fly close to the sun, but he'd always plummet back to Earth. Not this time. Not in Chicago. CM Punk beat John Cena for the championship, fended off a Money in the Bank cash-in, and ran out of the building with the belt. It's one of the most unexpected but joyous endings of any pay-per-view ever. Number 3, Survivor Series 2016. Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in 1 minute and 26 seconds. What the hell more do you need to know? Number 2, WrestleMania X7. It's still the greatest WrestleMania of all time because it had everything. It had a technical masterpiece in Angle Benoit, it had brilliant soap opera drama in Vince Shane, it had amazing car crash chaos in TLC 2 and the hardcore triple threat, it even had a victory for the Iron Sheik. But what really made WrestleMania X7 the people's choice was its main event. Steve Austin versus The Rock, the 2 biggest wrestlers on the planet, kicking lumps off each other for the WWF title. Not only was the match utterly wonderful, it's Jack the Jobber's favourite match of all time, Go Jack Go, but the ending blew everyone away. Sure, the Austin heel character didn't exactly pan out even by the Rattlesnake's own admission, but the heel turn itself remains one of the greatest swerves in wrestling. Steve Austin selling his soul to the devil and sharing a beer with Vince McMahon after the two men went to war with each other for years was devastating for fans and even more devastating for JR, who called the action like he was watching his dog being set on fire. Number 1. Survivor Series 1997. Of course, the night that wrestling got way too real. If you don't know the story of the Montreal Screwjob, go away. All that needs saying is watching Bret get legit screwed out of the title is still absolutely fascinating viewing. Watching it back, you forget what a mess it was. How many people were at ringside, Hebner running away as fast as he could, the spitting, Bret trashing ringside, it's a complete car wreck. Fans had no idea what to make of it at the time, but one thing was absolutely clear. They were going to be tuning into Raw the next night. And that's our list. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.